Hello, everybody.
Are we on?
We'll give everybody a minute.
Scares me every single time.
We'll wait and get a message
that.
from somebody to tell us that we're on. But, well, you can see in our
It's
backdrop,
beginning to look a lot
and lean a little
like
bit, look at that right there.
peppermint patty.
That's exactly right. So, hello, everybody. It's
Hi.
time for, really, I guess I should say, sunsets or winter sunsets. Winter sunsets with...
Dan and Cindy. I tried to say it like I was cold. That
No,
didn't work
it
out.
didn't,
Let's
no.
just do the regular.
Sunsets with...
Dan and Cindy.
Hey, all right. Well, welcome everybody to the show
Hey.
tonight. It is a wonderful,
Woo, big week this last week.
big. It's November 28th.
I cannot even.
Yesterday was Black Friday.
Yep.
And I mean, how many of you pre-retirees got out there? It'd be really fun for you to know, a little fact for us to know this week. How many of you guys got out there and in the hustle and bustle and shopped, or how many of you shopped online? You know what? And it's kind of exciting every day. I just wait for the Amazon guy to come and drop off. All right.
Well, and you know what's nice is that this year we can send them straight to the family if we
Yes.
want.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, we can.
Thanksgiving was wonderful. We had great food.
Well, tell them a little bit what we did.
Well, Zoom was so gracious yesterday
Yes.
to everybody
Yes.
that they said you can Zoom as long as you want today. So we started about 9 a.m.
Yes.
and our family, different members popped on and popped off all throughout the day. And I think we were on Zoom for maybe 12 hours. Sometimes nobody
You're
said
right.
anything
Just
for 30
watch.
minutes.
It was so fun, I have to say. One of the things that came on.
Really
Sandy, this question's for you. I'm not sure if we boil the potatoes whole or cut them up
I know.
first.
And to which I said, ask Allie.
There was recipe sharing.
Yeah,
It was just
the
fantastic.
grandkids popped on.
Fantastic.
And so, you know, it was not like, you know, having skin on your family, but at least we were
But it
together.
was a very virtual happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it was. It
Wasn't
was. And we had some awesome food.
You know,
And we took some plates to some people we knew that would be
Yes.
alone
we did.
because of social distancing and
We
all
did.
that. So we brought some plates.
good.
And
But
it
I
was
don't-
nice to make a whole bunch of food. So
Oh, well, and you know what? I don't know what you guys had, but we love turkey and ham, and we had
corn casserole,
and
We had green bean
and
casserole.
stuffing,
stuffing,
homemade mashed potatoes from scratch,
homemade mashed potatoes from
cranberry
scratch,
sauce,
cranberry sauce from the can.
Oh, and celery with cream cheese.
Yes, you still have some of
I'm
that.
gonna work on that
I know.
after show.
Pumpkin
So
pie, pecan
pecan pie
pie.
with lots and lots of Cool Whip.
Don's
right.
philosophy is that everybody pumpkin pie should have Cool Whip.
The
on it.
right ratio.
So,
All right.
Anyway,
Well,
what's
again-
up, everybody? We are here. It's hard to believe that it is November
28th.
28th.
But tell them how to find us.
So you can find me on social media. You can find me at right here, Facebook, Sandy Patty. You can also find me on Instagram, Sandy Patty P, and Twitter. And then also YouTube channel, Sandy Patty, SandiPatty. And how can we find you?
Well, it's pretty easy. We've kind of streamlined everything. DonPeslis, Don Peslis, both at Instagram and Facebook. And I typically will post for you on Instagram and send things over to Facebook. But again, we love hearing from you pre-tirees. Remember, one of the things we talk about as pre-tirees, and that comes from our Almanac. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Mhm.
It's our age group, those boomers.
Yep.
We're the biggest generation that's moving
Yes.
into what our parents really, the traditionalists really retired.
Yeah.
55, I can remember Uncle Bert.
I know.
You know, remember
I
when they were
know.
55?
Yes.
And we blew right past 55 and said,
We
let's
did.
keep going. So this age group is again what we call pre-tirees.
Well, there's our company that we have partnered with,
Yes,
Kinizo,
yes,
calls this age group
yes,
the silver tsunami
right.
because there's so many of us.
So
and
many.
Really, there's silver.
Yes,
Just well
you know
hidden.
what? That's it's coming on. But again, we're so grateful to be with you. We're so grateful to be that pre-retirees. And again, we may have left the office,
Right.
but there's nothing in our life slowing down. And that's the reason every week we get folks asking, where's Don? And that's Dan and Cindy.
We've just had fun
Hello.
with our
And
pre-tiree names.
hello, Cindy. Thank you so
So,
much.
We haven't
So-
gone that loopy yet. And we also call it sunsets because Don loves sunsets for his reasons. And I love the after the
Right.
sunset, the backsplash. So
Right.
that's why this crazy little show is
Sunsets
called
with
Sunsets with
Dan
Dan
and
and
Cindy.
Cindy.
That's it.
Boop, boop.
All
All
right.
right. Speaking of Almanac,
Shall we
we
go
had
there?
a big moment this week. We were in Lowe's. We were looking
Okay.
for some special light bulbs.
We were.
And it was like, hallelujah. Like it literally went like that when we both looked over, like
We
about the
did.
same time. Show them what we found, Dan.
Well, folks, this was what got us through. Yes. 2020, right? Talk about 2020 visions. Anyway, this comes out about this time since 1792. Look what we've got. 2021. It's here. And you know what? I could have gone ahead and gone through this, but I've got again, it's available about this time every year. You can get them at Target. You can get them at Walmart. You get them at Lowe's. Is typically where we
Amazon.
Yeah. But since 1792, and I love what this says, the original Farmer's Almanac, useful with a pleasant degree of humor. That sounds like my life. Useful with a pleasant degree of humor. Hello, this is Dan's life.
Hey, you know what? I learned something about the Almanac.
Tell us.
Because this little punch hole.
See, there's a hole there. Okay,
I had no idea.
The first time I really saw this Farmer's Almanac, I have to tell you, was the summer of 1982.
Oh, tell us.
I just came off quartet tour and went to work on a farm in Kansas. Just missed wheat harvest and spent the rest of the summer in Satanta, Kansas, and some of the greatest Church of God, great Alexander family there, Eldon and crew. But I worked for Eldon Alexander, and I saw his with a wire through it.
Like that chain.
That's right, with a wire through it, holding it, and it was right on his workbench. But he also said, Don, the hole for this, we can take this thing with us if we need it, right in the, and I mean, when you talk about their combines and tractors, these things would not only drive themselves with GPS now, air conditioned, music, listening to probably Sandi Patty cassettes back in the day. No, but bottom line, here, these come with.
I didn't know that.
So the farmers can just put these right on their workbench, live, breathe, plant, watch the stars, watch the weather with your almanac. So
that's our almanac moment.
Well, I'm going to give you a little bit about the date. Let me just tell you to finish the truth about almanac.
November the 28th.
November 28th. We had these again. These are in Boston times again. Sunrise at a lovely 6:51 a.m. Oh boy, that's early. And sunset.
Not for farmers.
I know it.
They need that sunshine.
I know it. And then we had sunset. Let's see, sets about 4:15. Oh, can you believe it?
That
in
is
Boston,
so fast.
Early. I know. And we had amazing 9 hours and 22 minutes of sunshine. So again, we're moving our way towards the winter solstice. The days are getting shorter. Sunset's happening earlier, but it will start to turn.
So the shortest day of the year is,
I want to say December 22nd.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to say too.
I want to say, let's see. I don't know if
I think it is. We'll have some people tell us.
I am sure. Let's look at December 22nd. Yes. And then it starts building right back up after that. The
How about
26th. Yes. So we're going to go down to about 9 hours and 5 minutes of daylight.
Wow.
And then it begins That's
Here
it. Here it comes back to spring.
Yep.
All right, that's yours since 1792.
Almanac moment, then get the new one. So we have had a great time. It feels like all of our holidays have been smushed together.
Oh,
because we've been doing a lot of filming
for
December the 15th.
Yes.
A very merry virtual Christmas. We're so excited about it. And even just the filming of it was so fun. And we have a great team that has been putting this together, and we just shout out to everybody who has worked on it.
Absolutely.
But right now you can go to sandypatty.com, my website, and you can get your tickets, and you can
well, tell them about who's going to be on the show.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to have Dan and Cindi are going to make an appearance,
of course,
and our family virtually is going to make an appearance, which may or may not have anything to do with
usually
singing.
when the family gets together, there's music.
There's
but
music.
We've got some special guests.
And our friends Veritas. Y'all remember Veritas?
Yes.
From our Forever Grateful tour. We love those boys so much. So they are 5 of our favorite things.
Well, that's
definitely.
Scott, Jordan.
Oh, now you're starting
Jeff,
to name the kids.
Andrew, and James.
Did you do 5?
I did.
Okay.
5 of our favorite things are going to be there. Virtually Veritas. That could be a new name.
It could.
But wait, there's more. Go
So
ahead.
then we have Voctive, who we adore. So Voctive, we've always loved the Voices of Liberty at Epcot,
Yes,
at Disney.
in Disney.
And they are some of the singers who've kind of come through that and now are doing other things, but that's how they kind of all got together. Voctive. And a cappella, the range of the sopranos, it's like I cannot, I just want to smack their face.
I know.
In a good way.
In a good way.
And then the basses, it's unbelievable. So we have an interview with them.
We do.
And get to talk a little bit about Voctive, and then they're going to sing for us as well.
That'll be a nice way for you to get to know them. So again, details coming up December 15th for a very merry virtual Christmas.
Now I hear tell that Mrs. Claus is stopping by.
Oh.
And I hear tell that she maybe looks a little bit like me. I don't know.
You know, we'll just have
But
to.
we're going to read a story to all the kids from 1 to 92. See that Christmas reference I did
Very
there?
nicely
I know.
played. Nicely played, Cindy.
So we are
one
excited.
last time.
December 15th, a very merry virtual Christmas, sandypatty.com. Get your tickets now.
All right. You don't want to miss that.
Yay.
It's going to be, I think you put together some of your
favorite things.
See what I did there?
But
I know.
All right.
I know. It's
Now,
starting to feel like Christmas.
it
We love it.
is time for some fashion tips,
Okay.
tech tips,
Sandy fashion
and reminder tips. Okay, so
here we go. All right.
So here's my first one. First of all, the day of the mask is not over, people. It is not. Please wear a mask wherever you go. It's just it just is wise.
Be a good citizen.
And I know I'm not counting the fact that there are some who genuinely cannot. I'm not talking about that. But here's what I say about masks. I feel like masks like bifocals.
Okay.
If you have to wear them,
Yes.
they should be fun.
Yes. That's a great point.
So here's my mask.
And
I found this on Amazon, and it has 4 colors. I can't even tell you who made it, but I am so excited about my sparkly masks.
well, I think you've got
I'm
them in
excited.
several
Now,
colors.
here's my tip. Y'all, game changer right here. Mask breath is real.
It's a real thing.
Right? It's just real. It's
real
just
thing.
real.
Hashtag.
It's real. So get you some peppermint oil. Like an essential oil, peppermint.
We're going to demonstrate for you, little
Yes.
Dan and Cindy demonstration
Now,
for you.
Don't ask me how I know this, but trust me that I do. Do not put more than 1 drop in your mask. Do not.
We didn't say 2.
So
Here we go.
we're just going to dab it. That's it. Ooh.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, when you put your mask on, yeah. When you put your mask on here.
Dan,
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it's so good. Yeah, literally today I was crying at the
I
pharmacist
said, hey,
at CVS.
let me put some
Fixed me
peppermint on your
all
mask.
up. The pharmacist at our CVS Target. I was like, I'm so glad to see you.
She was like, "Are you okay,
Are
Mr.
you okay?
Maslowitz?
It's so good to see you too.
Hi,
How was
Jennifer.
Thanksgiving? I
Are
told
you
her,
okay?"
it's just it's the peppermint.
So trust me though when I say now, here's another little tip with peppermint oil. It's fantastic. In fact, I'm going to start doing this when we don't have COVID.
Yeah.
Putting this a little bit under my nose when I go on airplanes or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Fantastic.
if you put a little bit of this on your finger and just go like that, it is the best breath stuff ever. Peppermint oil is your friend. Okay.
We got a little in the hand.
All right. And now this whole room smells like
It's a wonderful thing. Brought to you by
Peppermint Patty.
This peppermint moment brought to you by
Peppermint Patty. Okay.
And lean to your left. Ready? And there it is.
Hey,
oh, we're having fun tonight.
okay. Someone's asking about what's the silver thing above Sandy's head.
Oh, the
What's
silver.
that?
Okay.
Tell them about that.
Well, if you lean, okay, what you can see, it's
There.
really cute. Can you see the tree up there? Okay. Well, let me say this, and this is really. Should I get it down and show everybody?
Nah.
Okay. Well, one of the things we created. It's really its 2nd anniversary. It's really,
Yes.
and one of the things that we do in traveling to see you folks so often. we collect a few room keys. Now I know you're supposed to drop them in afterwards, but
Well,
as it
some
travels,
don't care now.
right. So I've got this beautiful bowl of room keys that I'll probably next week
From
I'll show you the
hotels.
bowl
I
of room
know.
keys. So we'll just make this kind of a contiguous conversation, but continuous. Anyway, we
Mhm.
decided last year I had this crazy idea. I love the silver Christmas tree from like the
Yeah.
60s.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
I
like
mean,
tiny. It's
it's
about that
tiny,
tall.
so
So
tiny.
tiny.
It's about this tall, really, about maybe 2 feet.
Mhm.
Get you a hole punch the hole into the keys, and hang them up there. And so
Oh.
what you see there, I could see, let's see, Hotel Rochester from
No. Yeah.
Champs-Elysees in Paris. I
Oh.
can see Duke Energy, Yuletide celebration.
No.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I can see Sky Miles card. I can see an old driver's license.
Oh,
But it's a
that's
fun,
yeah.
it's
So-
so we call it our Gypsy Christmas tree.
Mhm.
One of the things we created, and just fun. It's so Dan and Cindy.
It's so down, Cindy.
so
It's our
very much.
gypsy trick.
It is.
Okay, one last
Speaking
fashion
of-
tip.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
So I have to give context because I'm not a context. I mean, I am a context
yes, you are.
person.
Yes.
I hate socks. I genuinely don't like to wear
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
They do help my feet and all
Yeah,
that, but I just
yeah.
I'd rather go barefoot.
Yeah.
But the older you get, there is just this looming fear in the back of your head that
Mhm.
you're going to slip and fall.
Well, we've got a lot of hardwood floors
We
and
do.
tile.
So
tile
I wear
floors. Yeah.
shoes
Yes.
for that
yes,
reason, and I
yes.
don't like having to wear shoes all the time. Flip flops, I don't always feel comfortable. Hey, you can put
So
peppermint
glad
in your
to be
socks.
Here tonight.
So anyway, our friends at Kinizo also feel like we don't want to slip. Our Dan and Cindy.
Yes.
So these
yes,
are okay. You know how infant and toddler socks
Yes.
have the little no slip thing?
Yes.
These are grown up for our people, for our boomers.
Yes.
No slip socks, you guys. I have literally worn them for about 4 days straight because you've been in the house.
We're gonna have to, and if
I'm
Sean,
gonna
Sean,
have to
my
watch them.
good founder of
They're
Kinizo.com,
awesome.
Sean, if you're watching tonight, Kinizo.com, she's been wearing these socks, the red ones. We've given others to Al and Will and the
Uh-huh.
kids. We've got the blue ones, but again, since yesterday,
And gray and black.
Okay, 3 colors. You want me to go ahead and jump into a little bit of a commercial?
You
with
know
it?
what? Do that because I'm telling you, these are game changer.
They're just the right thickness.
Oh.
They're not too thick. They're not too thin. They've got the adjustable with the no skid bottom. But here's the great
Right?
thing:
I-
if you're looking for a missional thing, when you like to get something and you're giving for every pair of Kinizo socks, boomers.
What?
This is us. This is again pre-retirees.
Okay.
Many of us are taking care of our parents now, uncles and aunts. That's just the time of life that we find ourselves. When you buy for every pair purchased, we will send another pair are given to folks in senior retirement facilities and seniors.
I did
that need
not
it.
know
So you
that.
get one and give one with every pair. And again, go to Kinizo.com. Thomas will put that up there, .com. Yesterday was Black Friday. And
Mhm.
again, we've got a sale
Which
going
is
on
going
these
on all weekend.
all weekend long in red, gray, and blue. But this is the nice packaging, slip resistant, premium quality. And the truth is,
I'm telling you, I'm
she
going to
did-
have
yeah.
to wash them soon.
well,
but
those are gone.
I'm going to put that
That's
pair
the last
on.
we're going to see him for a while. But they're right. And I don't like thick socks either.
Oh,
They're just
They're
right.
just- they really
Well,
are.
this takes us to a Kinizo moment.
Mhm.
And you know what? Again, Boomers, this is a company that we're privileged to kind of help launch, Sandy and I, with them and it's so fun because we're at that stage in our lives where we're looking for those experiences, those products, that information. Do we go to AARP? Where do we go?
Yeah.
Kinizo, Conizo.com for pre-retirees, the best in education, information, resources
Mhm.
for you about living life well.
Yes.
But we've got really something exciting coming up this week I've got to tell you about.
Do I know about this?
Well, I think you do. For the entire month of December. I remember I mentioned we'd have a special guest. I've been doing the blog for the past
Which
4
is
weeks.
so good, by the way.
Well, again,
So good.
this last
Anyway.
week was on Thanksgiving. Thank you for
Mhm.
that. And I love to write, and even quoted some of the things that Cindy here is most thankful for in making lists. And it's a great way in this COVID season
Yeah, it
to
is.
turn this tough time into a time filled with gratitude and thankfulness. Anyway,
Yeah.
you can check that out. But coming up every day in December, will be, get this, Sandy Patty's Someday. It's a daily Advent devotional. Again, you've got to go to it. It's a Kinizo exclusive. Every day you'll be our guest writer with a devotion based on her song, Someday. And I love this. I love this. And this is one of the quotes from her song. Someday you'll take your tiny fingers and with just a touch will cause the blind to see. Someday you will walk with strangers, but tonight I'll rock you. Stay a while with me.
Can you imagine Mary saying those words? Because the song is
Tell
really
them a few minutes.
is really written from Mary's perspective, who
Yes.
gave birth to the Son of God and the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords.
Yes.
But she gave birth to her firstborn son. Like, that's a big deal to a mom.
So there's a sneak peek.
yeah.
I'm not going to let her go on because she could go. That's a sneak peek. So from Mary's perspective, we've got a great daily Advent devotional. Go to Kinizo, www.kinizo.com. You can also find out there under resources, you can get the daily devotional. And it also reminds you about our upcoming, again, on December 15th, a very merry virtual Christmas. So it also, but we're really thankful for our friends at Kinizo. Thank you for giving us this opportunity for that. And again, it's our hope, resources, information, services to help us live well. And not just now, but we want to help our kids in those 20s, those 30s, those 40s, learning to live on earth as we were meant to live. And that will make the 60s, 70s, and 80s even better.
I love that.
Kinizo.com.
Now, I want to ask you a question,
Yes.
which does lead us into our next segment.
Yes.
But in the last 4 or 5 years, I've begun to learn more about the church calendar and the different seasons within the church calendar. And I know that tomorrow is the first Sunday of Advent.
It is.
So talk to us a little bit
Well,
about
let's go
that.
now for our crossingschurch.com moment. Again, Sandi is artist in residence at Crossings Community Church. I'm the chapel worship pastor. It's the early liturgy service that we like to call simple and sacred. So those of you in more mainline denominations, maybe and our Catholic, Catholic church friends, maybe you grew up Methodist, Presbyterian, Episcopal with the church calendar. We didn't.
No,
I
we
grew up
didn't.
non-denominational in the Church of God. But for the past 10 years, we've been privileged to serve. And really, I was just looking up at my shelf, and there are 10 years of liturgy on the shelf. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
But the church calendar really was instilled because back in the day, in the Dark Ages and the early Christian life, we didn't have Bibles. And number one, the priest knew how to read, but everything centered around the seasons, around the calendar to tell the great story of Christ.
And so the different colors, the different seasons.
And Advent. So you have Advent, which leads to Christmas, which leads to Epiphany, which leads to Lent, which leads to Easter, which leads to Pentecost. And then the season after Pentecost, all the seasons in the church calendar tell the great story of Christ's life. So just after Thanksgiving, we shift into Advent. And I've got another great resource that we're going to put up here. It's one of my favorite resources. I'll show you this book. We love getting good books.
Yeah.
But we'll put this on
sure.
the Living the Christian Year. And you know who gave me this book?
I know.
Jen Kreider.
A few years ago, our kids did a really special thing for both of us.
Yes.
But the thing they did is they each gave you a book that they loved, that they thought you would love.
Yes.
So Jen.
And look, I've used this book so much. It's literally become my handbook because, again, I didn't grow up now using the Book of Common Prayer, which is so fantastic.
Now, one question I want to ask you.
Please.
So we talk about our calendar year, which starts in January.
Yes.
But the church calendar year
starts tomorrow with the first Sunday of Advent. Advent is the first season, and there are really 3 divisions. And I don't want to get over complex, but if you think of, again, it tells the story. The first season is God with us. The second season that leads, so God coming in Christmas and Advent and leading up in Epiphany is God with us. Next season that leads up to Easter is God for us. And then after Easter and Pentecost, the season called Ordinary Time, which is anything, think of this, God through us. Now that's anything but ordinary.
Right.
I should write, that'd be a great
That
blog.
anything but ordinary. Yeah.
But God working through us.
Mhm. Yeah.
God with us, God for us, and God through
I
us.
love that.
But tomorrow it begins with Advent. And let me read just a little bit to you and tell you a little bit about. And then, Sandy, I've got a lovely prayer here that I would love for you to prepare our hearts.
Yeah.
But Advent, everyone wonders, what is the word Advent? And I love what he says here. He compares Advent, the word Advent means waiting. The waiting, the longing. Now listen to this. Of all the types of waiting, the waiting of pregnancy is most like the waiting that we do in Advent. The waiting of pregnancy is like our waiting for God to come at Christmas. Isn't that
That's
something?
very good.
It's lovely. So Advent is a season for waiting. We wait for the coming of God through Christ. All right. So that in simplicity helps you. So this season, we move through 4 Sundays of Advent. The first Sunday tomorrow, and then that will lead us the 29th, the 6th, the 13th, and then the 20th leads us to Christmas.
So is there a color for the Advent season?
Yes. We traditionally will use purple. And purple will be used throughout. It's again, purple is somewhat of a priestly color, and it looks of the
royal,
coming,
very royal.
Very royal. And then we'll switch to white for Christmas. And actually, I love Christmas. I didn't know this. Christmas is not just one day in the church world. It's a season of Christmas that sometimes, not only on Christmas, the celebration of Christmas, but the 2 Sundays after this year are called Christmas Tide.
Yay.
So I keep the carols going all the way to January.
Absolutely.
Not only December 27, but January 3rd.
Come on with that. Because you know what? The wise men came after he was born.
Exactly right.
I love that.
So
do you
again,
have that prayer for me to read?
I have a prayer for you, and I would love for you. Let me just get it here.
While you're getting that, let me just remind you can always join us on Sunday morning at crossings.church.
Yes.
We have 2 services that are streamed live. One is our sanctuary service that's a little bit more traditional, and the other one is more of a contemporary service. Crossings.church. I know many of us are trying to be wise and stay home. So if you're home, you can still gather together with us at Crossings.church.
I will say this too, folks. If you're able to get to Oklahoma City and you have friends that are in Oklahoma City or relatives that are here, let them know that we've got mask required services as well at 9:30 and 11 in the chapel, and I host those. So we're trying to do our best to be good citizens, to be wise, to be safe, and to be smart through these current times that we find ourselves. But in preparation for Advent, quiet your hearts. Let's spend a few quiet moments. Let yourself take a deep breath, and let's focus our hearts and our minds on the waiting and the coming of Christ. Sandy, read this for us.
This prayer, this whole thing. The more we let the scripture fuel our imagination and intensify our longing for the gracious rule of God, his just and peaceful realm, the more robust will be our frequent prayer. Let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. This week, pray this vision repeatedly. Be alert for opportunities to embody the prayer in your own small actions. So let me read this prayer for all of us. Renew in me this day, O Lord, the hope of the new heaven and earth in which you will reign in light, and we will live in peace. Meanwhile, may your kingdom come and your will be done on earth as it is in heaven, through Jesus Christ, our coming King. Amen.
Amen. I love that prayer because that's at the heart of what we hope to help inspire you too. And we talk about living on earth. That was at the heart of Jesus's prayer when he taught his disciples, Heavenly Father, help on earth as it is in heaven. Dr. Eugene Peterson writes that living in any season we find ourselves within with wisdom is living in robust sanity. And
that is just so good.
And living well in this season.
That's the message.
That's the message.
Yeah.
So living well in this season, in any season we find ourselves, get this, is that heaven on earth living that Jesus prayed for. So let that be your thought this
Yeah.
week. Father on earth as it is. And in this season,
Mhm.
maybe something as simple as a smile or a wave or a kind word or a kind gesture could just be the light
Yeah.
and the love and the peace that we so need to see in this world. So thank you for that. That was so lovely. Thanks for joining us this week.
Yes, we look forward to each and every week spending time with you, and we hope we have encouraged you. You have always, as you do, encouraged us. We will see you next week right here on Facebook, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central,
Yes.
5:30 Pacific,
And in Australia,
tomorrow.
See you next week on Sunsets with
Dan and Cindy. Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Have a
everybody.
great week.
See you next week. And